on Trending Thursdays, we're going to keep it short and sweet. So I'm working on a project, and I wanted to just share a few helpful tips for people that maybe want to get into making their own clothes. So if you didn't know, I am a seamstress. I do sew. I do make my own patterns and things like that. So this is called a pattern. This is a pattern. So how do you read a pattern? So usually if you go to like Joann's or Hobby Lobby or what's the other one? Michael's, they will have this table of books. And on the books, you will have the names of the company. So they have McCall's, there's Butterick, there's New Look, there's even like Berta, which is a European brand, and Simplicity. Those are like the main few you will see. And then there'll be some other ones sprinkled in as you look around. So this is a McCall pattern. So if you look in the books, you'll see numbers under the patterns. This is the pattern number. So this is what you will use to find the pattern that you see in the book in the drawers. So usually the M is not important. That just stands for McCall. So you would go to a drawer that says McCall, and then you would look for this 4-digit number. So you will try to find the door that has something between this range and this range, and that's the drawer you will look in to find this pattern. So now, the pattern also has sizes. So sometimes it will be like sizes, usually for adult patterns or misses patterns, it'll start at like a 6. Sometimes you may get some that are smaller, and you'll definitely have ones that are larger, but you will never have patterns that overlap. So this pattern is a size 6 to 14. So then the next pattern up will be size like 16 to maybe 22 or 24 or something like that. But this will be the size. Now this size does not go by what you wear in the store. Again, this is not what you wear in the store. So you will have to look on the back of the pattern. This is the back. And on the back, it gives you a lot of information. So first, we're going to start with the pattern for finding your size. So you would need to take your measurements. So next Thursday, I will show you how to take your own measurements so that you know what pattern, how to find a pattern best for you. But you will not look at this number. You will look for something that says finished garment measurements. This is the size of the garment when it's completed. And that's what you will use to decide what size you need. So this could change, and usually you would see what's important. So here we need our bust line, which is here. You would need your hip line, which usually is like right above your bottom or at your butt. And then the lower edge, which would be the very bottom, like down here. Like so much light in here. So like down here at the bottom. Not that light. Okay. Okay, so like down here at the bottom will be the bottom edge. And then the base of the neck. So the base of the neck, so like where your collar would be. And as you can see, this is kind of like a boat neck almost. Not so wide, but it's a looser neck. So you will look at finished garment size to determine what size you need. And make sure whatever part you want to be fitted, you give yourself a little room. Because your pattern also gives you an allowance of how big you should sew your pattern. Okay, so also on this pattern, it will tell you suggested fabrics. So it will tell you what kind of fabrics to look for, or what fabrics this look will look best in. And then it'll tell you how much fabric you need. So usually when you buy fabric, it either is 45 inches or 60 inches. Now there's some that's in between, like 54. There may be some lower. But most times you want to go by the 45 inch. And if you have extra fabric, good. Keep it. It's okay. So I usually try to go by the 45-inch measurements, and you will find your size, and however much it says you need is what you will buy. And then it also will tell you the other materials you'll need. So for this, you will need interfacing. Interfacing is what makes it thick. for like something silky. It helps it to give it more strength and help it like stand up. Maybe your collar needs some extra support, or your middle part where your buttons are will need extra support. And that's what you would need interfacing for. So yes, you do need interfacing. And then this, it says notions, Notions, notions. So this would be the other materials you need, like the buttons. It tells you what size buttons work best for this piece. It'll also tell you if you need like elastic, because something may need to stretch, and you may need piping because you may want to add piping is like not a lining, but it's like a facing or closing, where it kind of like gives you a nice finish edge, but it's very thin. So I will show you some piping at another time later on, but we're just talking about the pattern here. This side is usually another language, so don't worry about that. And then up here, it'll also kind of tell you about the fit, how it's fit, if it's a loose fit, a tight fit, or what kind of, how it will fit on your body. And then at the bottom of the pattern, you have the different views that you can make, and it'll have a front and a back. These are flats. So like pattern A, you see it has like a short sleeve. It doesn't have this extra skirt pieces, and it's very simple. Then pattern B, has a little longer sleeve that's kind of a bell, and then you have this little extra piece of skirt. And then pattern C, which is the one I'm possibly making, you have this ruffle sleeve, and then you have 2 layers of ruffle at the bottom. And then pattern C, you have the 2 layers of ruffles at the bottom, but you have the bell sleeve, and this also shows the tie. So on the front, you can see all the different ones in like a pattern or different fabrics, different colors, just to give you ideas. So yeah, that's how you read a pattern. And this is what will help you with your pattern pieces. And also, again, at the top, it kind of tells you what the original price of this pattern will be. This is not what I bought this pattern for. And it also tells you like some of your body measurements and, again, the pattern number and the brand. But that's the basics of reading a pattern. I hope this helps you get started, and let me know in the comments below what you want to know. My pattern paper's not in here, but have you been reading the pattern, or we only started with the package, so next time I would do measurements, and then the following week I would take stuff out and show you how to cut the pieces and arrange them and things like that. So we'll just make this a pattern series. But first you have to start with a pattern. So wait till we do our measurements, and then go get your patterns ready so we can cut, and stitch. See you next week, or maybe Saturday.